Heyo everyone, it's your host Rebecca from the Reddit Randos podcast. It's gonna be a good episode for all of you guys. It's just me today, but we're gonna go into some wonderful engagement and wedding drama. Love to do those every once in a while because there is a ton of those out there. And I don't think they get enough credit because there is so much drama when it comes to getting engaged, having weddings, wedding showers, baby showers, any of those things, because there are some petty and entitled people out there, let me tell you. Like, I don't know, something about weddings, and they just make people go crazy when it comes to getting engaged, weddings, baby showers, and all that stuff. Like, I'm honest, like, glad I didn't have any. I had my own drama. I'll just say I was never drama free from my own stuff, but I did not have some of the drama that I'm seeing in these things. I mean, I was a different drama. Maybe we'll get into it later. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know if I'm ready to put that out there yet, but yeah, let's get into this. So first story is from one day ago. I just literally popped on and saw it and I just had to do it. It's a little controversial. I honestly, you'll understand. I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet, but I actually just started reading a little bit. I'm like, no, I'm just going to do this one. But it is from the subreddit r/AITAH, another subreddit under Am I the A-hole? And it's titled, Am I the A-hole for telling my girlfriend I no longer plan to propose to her? Please read context. That's the title. Okay, so it goes on to say, I'm 28 and my girlfriend is 27. We've been together for almost 3 years and we live together. We've got a pretty solid relationship going on, no cheating or drama as of yet. Okay, so no cheating or drama. We've both got good jobs. We talk about the future and our families get along great. As far as I was concerned, we were doing all right. The only small issue has been the whole engagement proposal thing. I'm not against marriage. To be honest, I've been looking forward to it and had a ring picked out. So you got a ring picked out, okay. But I wanted it to be a surprise, so I didn't give her a specific date. I told her it was coming though, and I thought we were on the same page. But over the past 6 months, she started to get more and more fixated on it. At first, it was just normal conversation. Then it turned into a bunch of little jokes and comments about when I'd finally put a ring on it. Lately though, it's been on her mind 24/7. Anything we disagree on gets turned into some variation on, this is why you haven't proposed yet. Last week when I saw a message preview on her iPad, I clicked on it, I know I shouldn't have, and saw a group chat with her friends. They're all discussing how to manipulate me into proposing. Things like giving me the cold shoulder, not putting any effort as a partner, making me feel like I've done something wrong, no physical intimacy, and so on. They were even talking about using her birthday as a deadline and making it clear to me that there were other options on the table if I didn't come through. I'm not upset that she wants me to marry her. Before this, I really did want to marry her. But now I'm questioning whether or not I should really spend the rest of my life with someone who might manipulate me. Anyways, I asked her straight out if she'd been trying to get me to propose by using all these weird tricks. And when she said yeah, she'd been trying to get some clarity and not waste any more time. Basically, that I should just propose already because if I was serious, I would have already done it. I told her I'm not proposing, especially if I'm being coerced into doing it. Basically, I told her if she keeps trying to manipulate me like this, I'm basically off the proposal train. Now she's going around saying I'm punishing her for having some standard relationship needs and that I'm just dangling marriage as a way to control her because I'm not proposing fast enough. And her friends all think I'm the bad guy because I looked at her private messages. Fair enough, I get it. She wants to know when we're going to be engaged. I get that 3 years is a reasonable amount of time to start feeling some anxiety about when things are going to get serious, but you can't force someone to marry you. And most importantly, it's just made me realize that our relationship has been treated like some kind of game by her. Am I the a-hole for telling her I'm not considering proposing for her now after this? Okay, so this is why I wanted to, have this out there for you guys. I know it's not like a super drama or like, wow, like this is crazy story, but this is a very controversial moment. Both of these people, OP and the girlfriend, are kind of both in the wrong here. I would say they both have flaws on how they handled this thing on both their ends. The whole seeing the girlfriend's text with her friends about manipulating him into proposing, yeah, that's not right. Honestly, the best thing that they should have offered, or basically offered as advice to her about this whole situation, is to really have a sit down talk with him on when this is, if you're concerned, hey, it's been, okay, and that's another thing, saying through the past 6 months, have you been holding on to this ring for the 6 months? That's crazy that you haven't proposed yet. If this has been 6 months of you saying, oh, I have a ring, or it's going to happen, and you haven't even done it yet. 6 months, that's half a year. If you're going to tell someone that you're ready to propose to them, that's maybe a month. Months wait. Don't make her wait 6 months. I don't blame her. She's probably getting super high on anxiety. When is he going to do it? He probably doesn't, oh, something's wrong. I'm doing something wrong that he's not wanting me to do it. Honestly, I don't blame her for thinking, having fights and then being oh, this is why you have not proposed yet. I would say, this is probably really hurting her with your relationship, thinking she's maybe not good enough, or she's not doing something right, or I don't know. That just seems weird. If you're just saying the past 6 months she's been getting worse, and then all of a sudden it was a 24/7. Yeah, I don't blame her. You don't tell someone you're ready to propose that you actually already proposed and then wait 6 months. Did you actually even have a plan to propose to her? Why would you get a ring yet? Did you actually go ring shopping together, or did you just literally pick one out? These things are delicate because I honestly think you should never surprise someone on a proposal. You really need to sit down and talk hey, is this something we want to do? And if it's yeah, I would love to go forward with this, then you start ring shopping or getting an idea if she's wanting to go through her rings. Maybe she needs, you tell her oh, I'm just curious what you want to do. And obviously don't do it within the next week or so, but I would say a month, maybe 2 months max, when you guys are starting to talk about it, because then that way maybe you could plan around it if you want to surprise her, or maybe just have a very special vacation trip planned. I don't know. The whole chat with the girlfriends, yeah, they were totally wrong with saying you need to manipulate him. That was obviously wrong. She just needed to sit down and be I don't like how we're waiting for so long. If you said you're going to propose, why haven't you done it yet? And then you can explain to her why. You haven't even told us why you haven't proposed to her yet. Other than this is no, before all this, why haven't you proposed? If she isn't wrong, if you really strongly wanted this to happen, you would have proposed already. So what's stopping you? I honestly, no offense, OP, but I kind of think you're making this as an excuse now not to get married. I mean, you've been together for 3 years. How much more time do you need? If you've already talked about how you're wanting to propose, then get it done and over with. Get yourselves engaged. You guys are practically, if you guys are living together and, having a life together, you might as well just get it over with the engagement. So that way that's done and over with. Then you can focus on the wedding and all that. But her just being waiting around for you just to pop the question after you told her after a while ago that you were going to propose that it was happening. Yeah, I don't blame her for feeling after a while just the anxiety building and getting kind of second guessing if this is even going to happen. So honestly, both of you guys, I don't know, maybe you guys aren't ready for marriage because you guys are acting this way, and this is not how you treat each other or act maturely for conflicts that happen within a marriage. So how old you guys? 27 and 28. Oh my gosh, you guys, just need to grow up and talk to each other. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's get into the comments, because I honestly can't be the only one thinking this way. I could see it going both ways in the comments, meaning OP's the a-hole or not the a-hole. I really could see both ways, but I honestly think it could be an everyone sucks here. I could see it more towards definitely more towards OP being the a-hole for my thought and process on it. But I could also see an everyone sucks here. I can agree with that. I could see maybe the girlfriend being more of the a-hole more than the OP. But honestly, I think OP, you're just finding a way out now. Like, why haven't you proposed? The top comment is, so you told her you were ready to propose and then kicked the can down the road for 6 months. Okay, good. I wasn't the only one that noticed that. That was 6 months. 6 months. Only to be like, no, you're looking forward to it too much. Now I don't wanna. You never intended to propose. You just wanted the happy feelings of pretending you were going to. You're the a-hole. No, totally agree. Totally agree with that, honestly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Underneath that, someone says, why are you looking forward to something that is fantastic and amazing? Is there something wrong with you? Someone says, I agree. He basically lied to her and said they were going to get engaged. He needs to leave and let her go find someone who cares about her needs. He clearly doesn't. He's treating this relationship as a game. That's so funny that literally they said he's treating it like a game when he literally said that he thinks his girlfriend has been treating like this whole relationship like it was a kind of game to her. No, she's not treating it like a game. Like, when you're going to propose, maybe they're putting bets on when you're going to, because it's been 6 months since you told her it was going to happen. Like, aren't you tired of the conversation or her trying to bring it up or joke and comment? This girl wants you to marry her. And if you're not willing to do it within like a month or two when you told her you were ready to propose, then you shouldn't be getting married. Honestly, you shouldn't get married. This is a huge immaturity on your side, very much, OP, for even mentioning and putting all these like all these hopeful thoughts or hopeful, hope into your girlfriend, thinking that you're going to do this, and then you don't. So yeah, she's probably thinking, maybe I need to push him along. Maybe I need to guide him into thinking of doing it. So, yeah, honestly, there is no consensus here. This has only been a day. I don't think we have any update on this. Nope, no update. But yeah, as of right now, OP, you're the a-hole, and you need to do something about it. You either need to sit down and be given a big apology, saying, you know what, never mind, I'm ready for it. Or you guys need to break up. Honestly, this is what happens with relationships that go on for so long. And you guys start talking about marriage, and he did say, like, you can't force someone to marry you. Then why did you get the ring? You can't force someone to marry you, then you shouldn't have gotten the ring. If you were truly not ready, OP, which sounds like you're not, then you shouldn't have even mentioned it or brought it up. You guys need to sit together and say, how long do you want to go before we're ready? And honestly, I don't think you guys are meant for each other, because you would have proposed already. As your girlfriend said, your girlfriend needs to leave you, probably. She needs to find someone who, yeah, that's just ridiculous. I could never go 3 years and still think you're not ready. Like, what's the point of the relationship? For me, in my thought, I know people could be in relationships for that long and be okay and be content. But if you're going to talk about marriage and then not do it, and then obviously you guys are at odds where one doesn't and the other one does, then you guys are at an odds end. And honestly, that person who wants to get married, if the other person is not going to agree with it and you want to get married, then you guys are not on the same page, and you guys need to move on with other people. Because that will always be, you guys will resent each other for that. Either if one got pushed into marriage faster than you wanted to, or the other one is not getting married as they want to, you guys are going to resent each other. So in this case, yeah, you guys need to break it off. Okay. Sorry, like I said, that was like not a super drama one, but it was controversial because it wasn't like out there right away, like if he was, if that was a bad thing that happened or not. So yeah, okay, that's why I wanted to put that, guys, on you. So on to the next story. Okay, so this next story is from 7 years ago, so it's a little bit ago. It is under r/am I the a-hole, and it is titled, Am I the a-hole for being upset? Okay, this is a little crazy title, so just bear with me. Am I the a-hole for being upset that my parents gave my wedding fund to my sister to freeze her eggs? Yep, let that sit in there for a little bit. To freeze her eggs. Okay. They're using one of the siblings' fund for her wedding to freeze the other one's eggs. So let's see how well everyone took that. I want to preface this by saying that I've been 100% financially independent from my parents since the day I graduated college. I know they don't owe me a dime, and I'm grateful for everything they've given me in life. I have a sister who is about a decade older than me, and my parents promised each of us a set of amount of money towards our weddings. My sister used this money to have a big, beautiful wedding, and I'm happy my parents were able to make her special day like something out of a fairy tale. Now it's my turn to get married, but my parents have admitted to me that they gave away the money they had saved for my wedding to my sister. My sister, a mother of one, had a series of health problems and had to freeze her eggs if she ever wanted to have another child. She didn't have the money and only had a few weeks before her hysterectomy, so she asked my parents for the $13,000, which they obviously gave her. My sister was absolutely devastated by her health issues and scared, and because they're great people, my parents were willing to do anything to make her feel better. Okay. When did that happen, and have they done anything to restore that or to make it up? Okay, I know I sound like a selfish, vapid bitch for prioritizing my wedding over her fertility, but she was 36 when she got the diagnosis. There was no telling how long it would take her for her health to recover, and it would be years before they could even afford supporting another infant, let alone the tens of thousands of surrogates a surrogate would cost. I know she would never have the means to use those eggs before she was 40, and she has made it very clear that she wouldn't have had an infant at that age. In my opinion, she acted in panic and wanted a safety net that she knew she would never use. I don't blame her for being scared. I would have been terrified too. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that at 36, she had a bunch of health issues that resulted in her needing to get a hysterectomy. I'm wondering if there was some kind of cancer or diagnosis that she needed to get it removed, which sucks. That is a huge thing for a woman who's been really wanting to have kids. And I know some women are totally fine with it. Honestly, they're totally fine with it. But her hysterectomy, it's like taking a part of yourself out. I mean, it honestly is. It's an organ. That is a huge thing for a woman. It's basically a thing that makes a woman. I mean, so I'm not saying this like anything with political and everything. I'm just saying I know a lot of women out there, like including myself, if I ever had to get one, even if it was for the best thing, even if I wasn't going to have another kid, it's still an emotional, mental thing to get through. Because it's just, you have to, it's really hard to explain, but it's like just a part of you is being taken out. And it's something that really kind of defines you as a woman in a way. I'm not saying anything like it wouldn't if you don't have it. It's just, I know how sometimes that can cause some sadness in people having to go through that. No one wants to go through that unless they honestly are completely done with having kids or for health reasons, and they're a-okay with it. I'm not saying everyone's not okay with it. There's a lot of people that would. It's a huge decision factor, especially ones that probably want to have a kid, or, at this point. So she was older. By 35, 36, you are in the at-risk age of getting pregnant, because you are getting older. Your body will need to work harder, and you're at risk basically for any pregnancies from then on. So that's where, in that case, she probably did panic, because she was running out of time if she ever wanted another kid. And they probably couldn't afford adoption or surrogate. So I understand that she's like, I have to do this. So I understand in her area. And this is what OP's saying. She's understanding that she would probably panic there too. But she basically said she didn't want to have a kid by the time she was 40. So she panicked and wanted to get this done as a backup, but was probably never going to use it. So if that was the case for me, I would probably just have to make my way and be okay with it. So I understand both sides. I understand both sides, how in the panic of things, you just wanted that safety net. But on OP's side, she understands, like, you were never going to use them because you didn't want to have an infant later in your life. So why did you even do that? So I understand both sides. Our emotions and our fears get the best of us, and sometimes we do irrational decisions, or decision making choices that think this is going to help me now, and then later on down the road you're like, I would have been okay without it. So I understand both sides being upset. Like, not upset, but why this happened, and why OP's upset, and why the sister wanted to do that. And the parents, they just wanted help. They wanted to do all they could. So I understand. I kind of understand everything. It's a sticky situation. It sucks, but I understand. Okay, so continuing with the story. But I'm still upset that now I won't be able to have much of a wedding, because I had been counting on the funds my parents had promised. I'm not so much upset that they gave it to her, but I am upset that they gave it to her knowing nothing would ever come of it. That they traded my wedding day for her brief peace of mind. My sister has confirmed already that she and her husband will not be having another child. Oh, that really sucks. Like, I get it. Honestly, if you were not going to have another child, I would have had to be okay with it. I would not spend that much money to save my eggs if I wasn't even 100% sure, knowing I was going to have another kid. If I was going to save my eggs, for sure I was going to have another kid then, because I'm not putting that money up to waste. That's the thing. I would never waste my money if I wasn't 100% sure, knowing I'm going to have another kid. So I know the fear got the best of you, sister, but you made the wrong choice if you weren't even sure that you were going to have another kid. Okay. When my parents told me there was no money, they were obviously stricken and apologetic. I couldn't hide my disappointment. I don't blame you, OP. I really tried to reassure them that I understood, but they could tell I was hurt. My sister called later and told me that it sucks I can't have a fancy wedding. Like, seriously? Just like rub it in. Like, I can't have a fancy wedding like mine. I can't have a fancy wedding like hers, but basically I need to grow up. Oh my goodness. Dude, she did not just say that. Like, they can tell she's disappointed. You have all the right, OP. Okay? You were expecting that to happen, and it didn't. And you said outright, you didn't even say outright that you were disappointed. They could just tell you were, and I don't blame you. It can still be on your face. Do not hide completely away from that. You can let them know you're disappointed, but you understand what they had to do. So the sister going in and being like, oh, it sucks you can't have a fancy wedding, but you need to grow up. Like, What? Okay. Which seemed hypocritical since she made such a big deal out of her wedding needing to be extravagant. She said she's sorry, but at the time, her future children that she didn't even have. Oh, okay, but at the time, her future children were more important than one day in my life not being as nice as I'd hoped. I know this isn't the end of the world. This is dumb and petty in the grand scheme of things, and I feel ridiculously shallow for being so upset over losing my dream wedding. I'm still getting married. My wedding won't compare to my sister's, but I'm still marrying the love of my life, and it will still be an awesome day. That's a great attitude right there. Thanks for sticking with me through the story. I know plenty of you are rolling your eyes over the dramatic bullcrap that comes from with weddings. So am I overreacting? Am I the a-hole? Okay, so first of all, I know it took us some time already, like going over this. So going through the rest of that, I take back what I say I understand through sister when she said that comment. So I'm like, I understand everyone. Like, I still understand the parents wanting to do what they could because they just watch their daughter breaking down and in fear, and they just want to help her. I get that. I totally understand that with my siblings and my parents. My parents are very much like that. They are very much the same. But after she made that comment, she could have been a little bit more sympathetic towards her sister because she basically took that money to not even use towards it. Her future children were more important to think of that she didn't even have. Just think about that there. She is saying, my future children are more important than a day that you would hope to be better. No. I'm sorry. You didn't even have those future children. You never even tried. You literally said, we're not having more children. You didn't even try to use those eggs. No. Then that money was wasted. Was completely wasted for a split-second thought of fear of losing that ability to have a child that you weren't even wanting. So, yeah, honestly, OP, you're completely not the a-hole. I didn't think you were from the beginning. But yeah, I'm definitely towards more you, and the sister is an a-hole for saying that comment and not feeling sorry that, like, I'm sorry in the time of fear that mom and dad used your money towards mine. In this case, like, if it still happened, it sucks, but I feel more sorry about it at least. At least the parents were very apologetic. If anything, you just say, we don't have as much money from now on, but we will do all we can to help you with this wedding. We'll do DIY projects on all that stuff. I did a lot of those. Actually, no. Here's the thing. I had a lot of stuff going on in my life when I got married. So my mom, as much as her and I are very much alike, which can butt heads, and we are very stubborn people, love her to death, and she pulled me through getting that wedding planning. It was crazy. We did a lot of DIY projects. There was a lot I was going through in my life. So yeah, it was crazy. And I very much appreciate all the work and my family and my aunts that came in to help us with deals that were at some stores, putting in the nights that we had to put together to help each other with, like, putting together centerpieces and flowers and just a bunch of stuff. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful wedding, and I loved it, and I'm glad I still had a traditional wedding than going to a court or waiting longer. I'm glad the way it went. Was it as extravagant as my sister's? No, because my dad went to a different job and got more money, was able to put more of that. He didn't have as much money for mine, and he had more money for my sister's. Was I a tiny bit jealous that my sister had, like, all these wonderful choices and got to have, like, almost a $2,000 dress? I know that's still not anything towards, I know some people with dresses, but in our budget, it was a lot more than what mine was. I think mine might have been like, I went to a secondhand store that, like, this person never wore their dress. They bought it and then they returned it. So of course it was discounted, but I went to a secondhand shop, it's called Something Blue. So if you ever look it up, I think it's definitely more local in my area, but I love the store. And if you are looking, like, there's a diamond in the rough in all those thrift stores, secondhand shops. It's wonderful. I found my dress within that day, and it was kind of like all we could do, but I loved it and I enjoyed it. I think of it now when I'm in my 20s, I didn't appreciate things as much as I should have. And I look at it now and I'm just in my 30s and I'm just like, my gosh, I had it great. What was I so jealous and worried about of not getting the things I wanted? Like, I appreciate everything I had and I wouldn't change it for the world. And, yeah, exactly. So in this case, OP, you have a great attitude for saying, you know what? And this is what I'm saying for the wedding. Your wedding will not be as extravagant as your sister's. But you know what? You are still marrying the love of your life and you're still going to have an awesome day, like you said. And that's all that matters, is that you and your husband, your to-be future husband, although this is 7 years ago, so you guys are already married. But I'm just saying, you and your husband, that's all it's focused on, is just worry about you two that day. Don't worry about anything else. Do what you can for the wedding that you want to do, but just make it about you two specifically. Only have eyes that day for you two. Don't worry about anything that goes wrong. Don't don't worry about if someone comes to your, party, or that you aren't excited to see as much, or someone says a really wacky speech that was not what you were expecting. It doesn't matter, because in the end, it's just you two together. So just enjoy that. This is where, these days, there's Instagram weddings and people focus so much on how everything needs to go exactly how it is. And honestly, as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters, is that you enjoy that time with the people that you love around you. I know how stressful weddings can get. I really do, because it was making me so overwhelmed with how busy I was during the time of my life. But that's why I said, I had a great support system and I was able to have a wonderful day out of it. It was beautiful. So just enjoy that. Let this all move behind you and still enjoy what you have with your husband. So I will go into some comments really quick. So top comment says, not the a-hole. You should have told them when it happened. You should have been told when it happened. It is a dick move for everyone to keep that a secret. Oh, was that kept a secret? Oh, it was kept a secret. I didn't even think about that. They didn't even tell you until you were getting married, which was probably maybe years after. Oh my word. You were told you'd get a nice wedding. You expected one. And when you were let down, you got a grow up talk. Nobody gave your sister the grow up talk when she wanted to spend your wedding money freezing eggs everyone knew she wouldn't use. I suggest eloping and having a beautiful wedding for two in your favorite spot. Someone else said, yes, why on earth couldn't OP have been part of this conversation, or at least informed at the time? OP sounds very kind and understanding, and it would have been so much less hurtful to have it be a dialogue. Plus, it would have given OP more time and agency to envision a different scale of wedding or set aside more funds for herself. That is true. They didn't tell her this. She needed time to maybe save up for herself. They needed to give her this talk way sooner when it was happening. Literally the time it was happening, she needed to be a part of that conversation when they were giving that money, saying, I'm sorry we said we were saving this money for you, but we're actually giving it to your sister because she is going through a medical, this medical situation that she's really fearful of, that she's never going to have kids, and that she really wants to see if she can have more kids. Obviously, she kept probably saying to everyone, oh, I'm never having kids at this age, when she was really close to having that hysterectomy. So obviously, everyone knew she wasn't going to be using it, but she was still, I don't know, like I said, fear puts you in weird decisions making. They just do that to you, thinking you need this to be okay. And then eventually you think later, oh yeah, we were actually okay without it. So yeah, sister, that's another story, but OP should have been told right away from the parents. So then that way, if she was getting engaged or dating, she could have saved up for her future wedding to have maybe help a little bit more and put that on the side. Or the parents could have at least, I don't know their situation, if they're retired or not. Maybe if they were still working or something, they could add a little bit extra here and there. So yeah, that conversation should have happened. So her parents, someone else said, her parents and sister probably feel extremely guilty and know they sort of screwed OP, so the sister reacted by rationalizing and lashing out, while the parents just hid it because they didn't want to deal with it. Obviously, I don't know what for sure since I can't see inside other people's heads, but that would be my guess. Sweep it under the rug to avoid dealing with it and try to forget it happened until reality pops that bubble. I mean, I will say, I bet they felt really guilty, but I mean, the sister, like, I can tell you guys don't get along or are close because you guys are a decade apart, and she said that to you. Like, if a sister was, like, really, like, close to you, she would want to inform you exactly what was happening in her life and what was going to come upon it, like, using your money. But because she didn't, she was thinking of herself. She was thinking of herself. She wasn't close to you. She didn't want to bring you into it, and she literally said, get over it. You'll be fine. You'll have a wedding. It won't be as good as mine. Honestly, that makes me so mad that she's like, oh, you can't have as fancy as a wedding as mine. That, you're not sorry then, OP or OP's sister. Like, ugh, that would make me so mad. I'd crash out. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Okay, so for this next one, it is from r/best of Redditor updates. Best of Redditor updates had posted it 7 months ago, but the original post was from October 17th of 2024. This was posted originally from r/off my chest, and I guess there was a newer update to it. That's why Best of Redditor updates brought it back out. But the title is, my fiancé invited his can't say that. My fiancé invited his situationship, say that 5 times fast, for our wedding behind my back. Why would you do that? So, anyways, let's get into this. I, 23 female, am getting married in January and just found out my fiance, Mark, 25 male, fake name, invited his old situationship to our wedding without consulting me. For context, me and Mark met on a dating app 2 years ago after he broke up a relationship. To be honest, it's quite confusing what he and Tracy, 22 female, had. They met because of a mutual friend and started to develop feelings for each other. Mark told me they never dated and slept together, but it was more than friendship. Until today, he keeps her love letters, gifts. Wait a minute, what? Until today, he keeps her love letters, gifts, and talks about her. Oh, love letters? Gifts? Like, okay, maybe gifts is a stretch, but love letters? Oh my gosh. And talks about her? Like how? Okay, Tracy and him tried to stay in contact after the breakup, staying friends, but she ghosted him after finding out we started to date. Well, yeah. Okay. From what I saw in her social media, she's in a relationship, so I'm not worried about her trying to get with my fiance again. They haven't been in contact for 2 years, but he still has her number and email. I mean, okay, I get that, because when you even change contacts over and over, like, it gets lost in the many contacts you have. Unless he's, purposely keeping it there. I don't know. Okay. I know. Oh, sorry. 2 years. I found out about him inviting her after I checked again our guest list and finding her name. I know Tracy is not a threat to our relationship, but Mark inviting her behind my back makes me feel bad about our whole wedding. He told me he doesn't feel anything for her, yet he made sure to send her an invitation. Why? Out of everyone, why her? This is probably me being insecure, but my fear of him not getting over her is slowly creeping inside my heart. I don't want to lose him. Okay, I kind of feel the same way. Is that so? My husband Justin, for most of you who keep listening to our show, if you know, Justin is a co-host on here from time to time, and we have been married for a little over 10 years, but we've known each other for almost 15 years now too. But one of his past relationships with his girlfriend is part of it was a part of a really good family friend of his family's. So they were very close, knit together. They weren't a huge thing. They didn't last long. So it wasn't a huge, serious relationship, really. It was more like a maybe 14 or 15. So it was like I said, young. I didn't care about the relationship. I wasn't jealous about that. The one thing I wasn't comfortable with is that, I think they were all invited to our wedding. So that was a little weird. Also, when I had my baby, they came to the hospital room and held my baby in the hospital room. You know how usually when you go to the hospital for someone that has a baby, it's usually close family and really close friends. Apparently they were that close that I don't know, I felt very awkward because I didn't know these people. Yeah, so, I'm here they are coming up and all holding my baby, and I'm just okay. And I don't think I had anyone with me. I think my whole family was gone, so I was just this side of the family. I don't know, it was really weird. Like I said, I've had drama in my life. That's kind of part of the drama. There's just things that happened in that early time. We were very deeply in loved and everything, but it was more of our families that were not on the same page of things, which kind of caused drama between, I do think it caused drama between me and Justin and drama within our families. But we're here today. We're all over it. Over 10 years. We're good. We're fine. We're past the drama. But yeah, I will say our early 20s were quite the adventure of awkwardness of, things here and there popping through. Anyways, we'll go back. This is why I'm relating, because this is just so weird. It kind of reminds me of our story, but this is a little bit more, I said, they weren't a deep relationship, but yet somehow they were still all good family friends. So they were still around each other. And I just remember she saw looking out for me, the ex-girlfriend. She'd say hi and look for me, because I used to work at the same place that her sister and her worked with with my mother-in-law at the time. It was at a daycare right in the beginning. So yeah, no, I'm just saying okay, whatever. That's a little weird. I don't think I'd ever do that with ex-boyfriends. One of my ex-boyfriends were we were really good friends with their family too, but I don't think I'd ever I don't know, saw it. I'd look for his new girlfriend or something, or wife. Try to buddy up with them. I don't know. I've heard great stories where ex-girlfriends get along with each other, but we weren't exes. That's the thing. We weren't exes together. I was married to this person. So anyways, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, anyways, it says, I'm just going to say the last few lines. This probably is me being insecure, but my fear of him not getting over her is slowly creeping inside my heart. I don't want to lose him. I totally feel you. Totally feel you there. Relevant comments around that first post. He's probably not over her, especially since they were never a thing. For him, she might be the one that got away. If I were OP, I would have a very serious talk with him. Especially sit down and say, what made you think of inviting her without consulting me? What if I'm not comfortable with it? Okay, so OP had responded to that saying, I don't get why he is not over her, especially if they were never a thing. My thing is, I think he wanted to be a thing and she didn't, and he is still thinking what they could have been good together. From what Mark told me, he was the one who didn't want a relationship since Tracy just started life. Okay, that's weird. Another commenter said, he went behind your back to invite someone whose love letters he's kept. The fact that he didn't talk to you about it is a red flag. If having her there is more important to him than you being comfortable at your own wedding, then you might need to postpone the wedding. She might not be a threat to your relationship, but it sounds like your fiance's feelings are a threat. OP responded saying, I don't know why he is not over her even after 2 years of no contact. I know Tracy is part of his past, his story, but it's been such a long time. A couple more comments. Someone said, tell him you don't want her there, and that's final. And he better rescind the invitation, or you'll have to rethink the marriage, because starting a marriage life by going behind your back is a no-no, which is very true. To be honest, you need to not stubbornly hold on to someone you can't trust, and you can't trust someone who does this crap behind your back. OP had said her going to the wedding doesn't make me uncomfortable, since I know she won't do anything. The problem is my fiance and the fact he invited her to the wedding without notifying me. See, that's the uneasy feeling that she's having. She's not worried about the Tracy coming to the wedding at all. It's the fact that he did this. It's the act of what he did that's making her feel uncomfortable, which is a strain in the relationship. Okay, so if Mark wanted her there, fine. But I just hate the fact that he didn't tell me beforehand, and it's making me think he lied about getting over her. All right, one last comment. Why do you keep saying, I know she won't do anything? If you can't trust him not to do anything with an old fling, you should not be getting married. And OP responded, Tracy has a boyfriend and is expecting. Also, she was the one who blocked him everywhere after finding out we were dating. So why does he want to invite an old person that might have been a thing if she blocked him? Like, I don't get that. Okay, so there's an update 2 days later. After reading the comments and talking with some friends, my heart finally understood Mark never really got over Tracy. In the beginning, I was in denial, but I went out with Tom, 24 male, his best friend of years, to understand about what really happened between them. Oh, he went out. Okay, so I'm thinking like, oh, they went out? No, they went out together like for like a brunch or something, whatever, to talk about this. From what he told me, Tracy and Mark met because of some friends in common. She just got into the university and was 17 at the time. Ooh, that's young. While Mark was already almost graduating. Oh, that's a bit of a difference there. They stayed friends for 2 years and feelings started to blossom. Mark was already working while she was still in college. He only wanted to formally date her after her graduation, so it was never a thing, even though they shared love letters, gifts, and shared almost every holiday together. Were they still dating people or seeing people casually in between this time that they never dated? Like, if they weren't dating anyone else and they were doing, like, sharing these feelings with each other, I would say it was a little bit of something. They were keeping each other for each other then if they weren't dating other people in the midst of all that. Especially if they were sharing love letters. Like, that's you literally sharing your feelings towards someone, and that means you guys are mutually wanting to date, probably. I don't know. Tom told me everyone from their old friend group thought they would marry since they were so sweet together. So their breakup was really unpredictable. Tracy was the one who broke up with Mark due to their religious values not lining up, as she wanted to save herself until marriage. Okay. In the end, they decided it was better to go separate ways and maybe try again after a few years. But after me and Mark started to date, Tracy realized that it was pointless to wait for him and started to see other people too. I mean, that's if your guys kind of moved on after a few years not dating anyone else or seeing something maybe becoming more serious online, then yeah, I would be like, okay, I need to move on. So seeing other people too. So she blocked him and everything except email just to have a clean beginning. In the end, I finally realized Mark is just hopeful that Tracy would come back to him due to their talks of trying again after a while. Oh, so even it was like right after that they started dating, and after a couple of years of them dating and then getting engaged, he was still holding out for that possibility after a few years that him and Tracy would come back to him, which is ridiculous. Don't go on and get engaged with someone with you still holding out feelings for someone else. Just break up. Oh. Okay. It's like when someone's like, I just wanted to see if my ex still wanted to get back together before I get engaged, or I go on with the wedding. Like, come on. Like, if that fiance or girlfriend knew about that, that's the end. That would turn me off so much. That would give me the hugest ick and be like, nope, we're not meant for each other if you wanted to throw this out. Okay, so in the end, so I finally realized Mark is just hopeful that Tracy would come back to him due to their talks of trying again after a while. It honestly hurt so much as I loved him so much. I still didn't confront him. Oh, girl. I still didn't confront him since I'm still shaken up, but I don't know if this marriage will happen. I'm going to update once I calm down and confront him. So again, we got some comments there. Someone says this sucks, but at least you found out before you ended up married to this guy. I'm sorry, OP. It does sound as though your fiance hasn't moved on. You deserve someone who can't breathe without you, and I hope you can find it with your next partner. Someone had said, write down all your feelings and thoughts to a letter to him. Explain what Tom had said to you. Tell him it aligns with him keeping the love letters and trying to stay in contact and bringing her up even 2 years later while in a relationship with you. Tell him you love him enough to let him go. I'd also reach out to Tracy and ask if your fiance has been talking to her at all. You never know if there is more to the story or if she has moved on from him. I don't know about that, if she's definitely blocked him still. From what you wrote, it doesn't seem like he's moved on from her. He shouldn't be inviting someone he still has romantic feelings for to his wedding. That's not to this person. Yeah, exactly. That's cruel to you, his future wife, and Tracy as well. If I was her, I'd feel like he was trying to shove his relationship in my face. I'd be offended if he even invited me. Also, will this be his first time seeing her in 2 years? For some reason, I seriously doubt it. However, if it is, that's pretty diabolical. It's like he's using your wedding and you as a prop in their love story. Does he think he's the male lead in some K-drama? At the very least, give him the letter. If he wants to meet up, ask to see his phone. Go through his deleted messages and sent emails along with his trash folder. I think there's more to the story. Were you supposed to walk down the aisle and just see Tracy there? He's honestly an a-hole and a selfish one at that. So we got another update 6 days later now. It's been a while since the last update, and I'm here to announce the wedding has been called off. Probably for the best. But let's keep going and see what happened. My parents are the one canceling everything for me. It's like I returned to my childhood when mom and dad had to solve my problems. Oh. I confronted Mark about talking with Tom and made him aware of everything I've been dealing. His reaction at the beginning was dismissive and was almost as if he was trying to escape from the situation. In the end, Mark said he never loved someone like Tracy. Wait. In the end, Mark said he never loved someone like Tracy because it was pure and innocent. Ugh. She reminded him that not everything is about carnal desire, and in the darkest moments of his life, Tracy was like a sunlight. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was gonna say, this is like, ouch, man, my gosh. Okay. Could you tone it down a bit at least? Like, hearing the man you love admitting how much he loved another woman is so hurtful. During the talk, I started to cry, bawling my eyes out. Mark had the audacity to say he loves me, but it's a different kind of love. Just oh, you're good enough. I asked why he invited her to our wedding, and he was speechless. Why he had to throw away our future for something in the past? This hurts so much. Mark told me he knew Tracy didn't block him on email since he was the one who helped her get her first job, and a lot of professional stuff was also involved. This is how he was able to send her our wedding invitation, but he meant no harm. When I asked what he meant with this, Mark just said he wanted to make her watch us together and realize what she lost because he was hurt that Tracy was pregnant and not married. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh, because she said under their religious views or values that they didn't line up. It's because he wanted sex before marriage and she didn't. And now that he's seen that out of all this time that she got pregnant, so she basically had sex with someone before marriage, he is getting all mad and now he's trying to rub in this marriage. Oh my gosh, the audacity of this man. That would make me so mad that you're trying to wait. Maybe she found the one, and that is why she decided things changed. People change as they grow, and yes, you can still have those religious values. Like, that's what my views were to wait and wait until you gave yourself to someone by the time you were married. But in my case, that didn't happen because I found my husband and we were young, dumb, and in love. I want to say that young, dumb, and in love. And we, definitely took that step before getting married. And we actually had a child before we got married. But we got married shortly after, and we are so happy and still in love. And I probably love him so much more today than I did. It's so hard to say that because I loved him so much then, and but somehow I love him even more today with how we just raised this, we grew this little family together, and we have so many things we love doing together. So honestly, she probably just found the one. And if she didn't, we do things. We're not perfect in how we view things. So you know what? OP's fiance, you can just I don't know. I can't even say that. I can't even think of anything because this makes me mad. And I feel bad. I feel so bad for OP. I feel bad for Tracy because honestly, I don't know. He's got some feelings he can't get rid of. That's just ridiculous. Okay. So he wanted to make Tracy watch us together and realize what she lost because he was hurt that Tracy was pregnant and not married. The moment Mark mentioned about Tracy's pregnancy, a red alarm started to echo in my head. That's okay, whatever. How did you know about her pregnancy? Ooh. Because, well, how did she know? She was expecting. Unless, she's not blocked on social media, so she probably, if she has it not in private. So, okay, interesting. How did you know about her pregnancy? You said she blocked you everywhere. I could see panic in his eyes as he started to stutter. I wonder if he made a new account and is stalking. Oh my gosh, that would make sense. This would make sense. Okay. In the end, I made him give me his phone, and I found out more than 5 accounts to stalk Tracy. 5 accounts? My stomach felt sick and the urge to vomit was overwhelming. Yeah, we're done. Totally done. Like, honestly, after that comment about why he wanted to invite Tracy, that would make me just be like, we're done. This is ridiculous. But this would make me feel sick too. During the whole relationship of you guys, that's ridiculous. Okay, so in the end, I decided to call off the engagement since he was a creep. Mark threw himself on the floor asking for forgiveness, and he loves me. No, he's just embarrassed that he doesn't get to shove this relationship in Tracy's face anymore. So that's stupid. He's asking for my forgiveness. He loves me just in a different way compared to Tracy, and was just hurt that she gave me herself to another man while he begged her countless times for sex. What did I say? He begged her to have sex with him before marriage. And this man, he's jealous because she found someone else to give herself to. And he's jealous that it wasn't him. He was still wrapped up on her. And yeah, maybe it hurts to see, her with another relationship, especially because you didn't get that closure. She is the one that ended it. But why be in another relationship then if you're just still gonna stalk your ex? Like, oh my gosh, like, you begged her. Ugh, that's so cringe. Okay. This made me feel even more disgusted with him because he felt entitled to her virginity and body. I left without taking even a bag with me. Everything is just too much. I can't believe I spent 2 years loving a stalker, a man-child. Oh, I also told Tracy everything and his accounts. I don't know if she saw my messages, but I hope she does. The jealousy I once felt for her transformed into pity, as no woman should go through what Mark has done. Mark wants to meet up with me and doesn't want to break up, but I'm just so tired. No, we are done. That stalking, that entitlement, wanting to take her virginity, that is so gross. Okay. We're going to skip the other comments because we're going to go to update number 3, next day after that last update we just said. Okay. I think this is my last update since I've already met up with Tracy and talked about what happened. Oh, she's met with Tracy now. Okay. Me and her met at a cafe, and in the beginning, I was really nervous as I didn't know what was her reaction because her reply was only, "Hi, let's talk over a cup of coffee," smiley face. Oh. Okay, maybe I like her. We're going to find out. Okay. When I was waiting for her, I could feel my back sweating and overall lots of emotion. Tracy arrived, and I finally understood why Mark was so obsessed with her, as she is definitely one of the most beautiful women I have seen. She's pretty on the pictures, but personally, she looks better. Girl. Okay, Tracy said hello to me and asked if I'm willing to go to her house to talk, since being outside for too long makes her really tired. I mean, she is pregnant and expecting, so yeah, we ordered some coffee to go, and it was super awkward. Yeah, going back to her house is a little weird because you've never met this person and you've only looked at her as at afar, being jealous. So now let's talk about what she told me. First of all, she apologized for being the reason why now I'm single, which I assured her is not her fault. No, girl, it's not your fault. You got away from this man. Good job on you. Now it's OP's turn. Tracy said she received the invitation, but was simply not interested in participating in our wedding as she was already in a happy relationship and is pointless to see a person from the past. Okay. Especially one that you had a thing with. Yeah, exactly. With the story Tom and Mark told me, I got curious and asked about them staying friends, as it sounded like she wanted to stay with him after the breakup, and it's the polar opposite of her behavior. Tracy was extremely uncomfortable with this question, but still explained to me why she said that. In the beginning, she was really in love with Mark because he was her first love. She described him as a protector, someone trustworthy, handsome, and kind, as he always showered her in gifts and travels. Everything was fine and sweet, but over time, Mark's... I just saw the next line. You're going to guess it. Mark started to beg her for sex so much to the point of her pretending to be sick just to avoid him. You have got to be kidding, Mark. You just wanted her. My goodness. This man is a creep. She just didn't want to sleep with him and had some sort of blockage, like a sixth sense telling her not to do this. She was sick and tired about all of this and used the fact that her parents are... She used the fact, so she's not even extremely religious. She just used that as excuse to not have sex with him. Oh my gosh, Mark, why didn't you not see the my gosh, you didn't see it. You didn't see any of her hints. Okay. The fact that her parents are extremely religious. So she just used the fact that her parents are extremely religious to justify why sex was off the chart. This led to a fight, which Mark never told me, and then breaking up. But 2 weeks after, they started to talk again as she felt in debt with him as he helped her get a job in a prestigious company. And he spent a lot of money on her with trips. Also, she felt guilty. He spent lots of monies on her with trips, foods, and presents. I mean, this guy is buttering her up. And she's young. Like, I get it. They're like maybe 4 or 5 years apart. But he is still like, was taking, I feel like, not advantage of her, but really buttering her up to make her feel guilty and that she owed him. And that's what he was asking for, was basically sex. I think he didn't really want anything other than, he just really wanted to have sex with her. I don't know. And she's beautiful. Maybe he just really wanted to make people jealous. I don't know. This is just, oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, they were really young. She was still really young, 17, when this was all happening. Okay. So paying for her with trips, foods, and presents. One of the gifts was a Rolex for her 18th birthday, which made me mad since he never spent so much money on me. Oh gosh. So when Tracy found out me and Mark were seeing each other, she felt relieved and finally had a proper reason to block him everywhere, since he was still sometimes hinting about them sleeping together. No. Okay, in the end, I told her in the entire relationship, Mark would sometimes talk about her, and in the beginning it was kind of weird, but I just brushed it off since she was part of his story. This guy was never over it. I also talked about Mark's numerous accounts in the beginning, and she didn't believe me, but I showed her the accounts I knew, which was creepy since they all had female names, followers, and pictures. All of them looked real. Okay. So her account is public, so I asked Tracy to make it private. She made a new account with her Korean name and deactivated the old one. We had fun and became friends. She is really sweet. She's a really sweet person, and I saw how her boyfriend treated her like a queen. I'm happy she found love and got rid of Mark. Yeah, for everyone's safety and sake. So, some relevant comments. Someone had said, sounds like everyone dodged the bullet. That was Mark. Oh yeah, OP had responded, it wasn't a bullet, it was a nuclear bomb. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go to the next update, because there is the newest update that was just recently in July of 2025. So from the original story, 8.5 months later, we get a new update. And maybe the final, but I don't know. So anyways, it goes on to say, hi guys, recently I logged into my account again and decided to give an update about my life, as it is so crazy for me that almost a year ago, my tears were uncontrollable because of a man. Tracy got married a few weeks ago and I was invited. This is where I'm like, exes to exes getting together and being friends. That is perfectly, I think, okay. You guys have something to bond over. It's fun. Exes with the new wife of the ex. Yeah, no, probably not. That's my story. And that's why, no. Okay. So meanwhile, so I was invited. It was a beautiful ceremony, and her baby was part of it. Oh, see that my baby was part of mine too. It was refreshing to see the glow on her face and that she found the one. We're not too close, but still is nice to hang out with her and accompany her journey as a wife and mother. Meanwhile, I'm not interested in relationships for a while. I got a promotion and thinking about moving to another state, as my company offered a position with my better pay. Not being engaged actually made me concentrate a lot more on my job as I become able to do more extra hours. So I don't have much updates about Mark since I cut off contact with him. His family and friends that took his side. The last thing I heard, his family and friends that took his side. The last thing I heard is that he was telling everyone how controlling and abusive I was, and he had to call off our engagement. Oh, that freaking loser. This is not my business anymore, and what he says doesn't matter. But Mark is definitely miserable. I am going to take this summer and go to Greece just to celebrate life. Thank you all for the advices. If I didn't post on Reddit almost a year ago, I would have been married to a guy who never saw me as his first option. And that's the end. Oh, guys, I'm happy for OP. This definitely needed to happen. OP definitely needed to get out of that. That was crazy. I did not think of that story resulting in how Mark was like viewing Tracy. Like, I was maybe guessing stalking, because he was still so obsessed with talking about her and wanted her over there even though she blocked him. But the whole like virginity and begging for sex, that's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. So, yeah, no, that seems crazy. So, you know what, guys, I'm caught. I didn't realize how many updates that story was going to have, and that was crazy. I wasn't really expecting it to get that crazy. So, we're going to end on that one. I know that was only 3 stories. It had tons of updates though, and I might have talked a little bit on some of them, a little too much. But we're going to end on that one because, like, that had so many updates. But I love doing these. Maybe my next one, I'll do a part 2 on more wedding and engagement drama, because I do have more that I never got to, and we'll just have to get to them for my next episode, I guess. So if you guys really enjoy wedding and engagement drama, baby wedding shower drama, all that kind of stuff on just fiancés and all that, let me know. You can comment, you can email us at the Reddit Randos at gmail.com to let me know what subreddits you really like and enjoy, what stories that you're like more like enjoying hearing and everything. So let me know, but I do hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Like, follow, subscribe, but I hope you have a good one, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.